Hope you have a guest weekend. If not, stay away next weekend. I'm called a sad for scene and student new. Fast after April 33, Kenya is building a well. Its well stretched 435 miles, roughly the span of the country border with Somalia. Kenya is also reported telling the United Nations to relocate the world's largest refugee camp. Is in Kenya. It contains 600,000 Somalia. All this had to do with security. Kenya said it had to change the way the U.S. did after the September 11, 2021 terrorist attack. The Al-Shabaab terrorist group is based in Somalia. Kenya believes its operative crossed the border into Kenya, possibly filtering with the refugee camp, before getting killed and killing 137 people at the Kenya University earlier this month. Al-Shabaab also claimed responsibility for an attack in 2013. It killed 67 people in Kenya Westgate shopping mall. Have a look at now for all the border is between Kenya and Somalia. This is the border between Kenya and Somalia. Now we can show you this for security rules, but either side of the border is the party's passenger security set up, and there has only gone inside and scrutiny in the aftermath of the Westgate attack in Nairobi. But this is not the only route into Somalia. He gets out of the underground. This is when traffic pole, the pioneer route so how large routes used by smokers to cross back and forth. Under Texas massive massively of from the government, roads that currently are some authorized. In spite of the Kenya government efforts to beef up border security, up to with this marker routes we managed to enter Somalia from Kenya without an checkpoint, without being asked for ID, without seeing any sort of government person.
Hope you had a great weekend. If not, there's always next weekend. I'm Carl Azus for CNN Student News. First up, this April 13th, Kenya is building a wall. It'll stretch 435 miles, roughly the span of the country's border with Somalia. Kenya is also reportedly telling the United Nations to relocate the world's largest refugee camp. It's in Kenya. It contains 600,000 Somalis. Kenyan officials want it moved to Somalia, though the UN says it hasn't gotten an official request. All this has to do with security. Kenya says it has to change the way the U.S. did after the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks. The Al-Shabaab terrorist group is based in Somalia. Kenya believes its operatives crossed the border into Kenya, possibly filtering through the refugee camp before targeting Christians and killing 147 people at a Kenyan university earlier this month. Al-Shabaab also claimed responsibility for an attack in 2013 that killed 67 people in Kenya's Westgate shopping mall. Here's a look at how porous the border is between Kenya and Somalia.
This is the border between Kenya and Somalia. Now, we can't show you this for security reasons, but either side of this border is a pretty substantial security setup, and that has only grown in size and scrutiny in the aftermath of the Westgate attack in Nairobi. But this isn't the only route into Somalia. Hacked out of the undergrowth, this is where traffic flows. The Panya routes, so-called rat routes, used by smugglers to cross back and forth undetected. Branching brazenly off from the government roads, there's certainly a smoother ride, in spite of the Kenyan government's efforts to beef up border security. Up through these smugglers' routes, we've managed to enter Somalia from Kenya without any checkpoints, without being asked for ID, without seeing any sort of government presence.